Hi, welcome back to the channel. So, I was on YouTube and I was watching a few videos, and I'm going to put the links at the bottom of, I'm going to put the links in the description. One was the deception of Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. This is a DC, but if you've been following me for all these years, I sometimes talk about Star Wars because that was also another passion of mine, and I'm going to relate all this back to Zack Snyder. So I was watching this video of the deception of Kathleen Kennedy and the history and everything else behind it, and how betrayed George Lucas felt, and how she had this vision for Star Wars. And then shortly followed by a video I watched Dave Filoni. Now, if none of you have heard of him, he was like the last sort of saviour for Star Wars fans, because he was behind like the Clone Wars, and for Star Wars fans he seemed to be able to get what Star Wars fans are. He seems to get what Star Wars is to the fans, and if anyone was ever to direct a movie, this was the guy. But guess what? In a close video, he, at a conference full of women, he basically bowed down, he went on his knees, to the women, and he basically made a mockery of the fans, people that spent all their money, saying that he believes on Kathleen Kennedy. This was a Star Wars fan who probably at one point loved George Lucas, but at this conference he buckled down under the pressure. He wanted to be what you would say bloggers or YouTubers do, right? And what I go on about my other channel, the Inner Mind, I talk about the freedom of speech, and things that get cancelled on YouTube or anything else is the unlikely view of the world, right? It's the most popular view is allowed to be on YouTube, right? That's as soon as people's opinions start to change, right? As soon as people's opinions start to change, then that vision will be allowed to speak. Okay? So I just felt that's quite a shift in the fanfare. So I went from George Lucas to that. And then I came across this brilliant video. Again, this link is in the YouTube. And what it is, there's a guy called, is it Fatal J? And I was going to play it for you, but then I would have held it up to the screen and everything else. So I might as well just describe what happens in the video. And Fatal J, who's a black man, sits down, talks to this other interview, Lightcast or something like that. And straight off the bat, he goes, he used to watch Star Trek, right? He used to watch Star Trek, The Next Generation, and he loved Picard. He loved Picard, the bald-headed white man, and he wanted to be Picard. That, to me, says everything that normal society and people are, okay? When we sit down and we watch these films, there isn't any sexism or whatnot in these movies. There's no sort of agenda in these things, okay? A man can watch a woman and be inspired. A woman can watch a man and be inspired, and in some weird way want to be that character. Right? So when these films set out, when you're going to see a Superman movie, a Batman movie, a Wonder Woman movie, it doesn't matter on the sex as long as the character is great, is well written, and is good. Unlike what happened in the Star Wars movies. But here has a black man basically saying he wanted to be Picard. This white, bald man was speaking for him. So that relates to, so this was going back to what Dave Filoni was saying under the peer pressure of the room filled of women. Was he speaking from the heart, or was he speaking because right now whatever he says will be the most popular opinion in that room? So did he buckle? Did he buckle? Now we go back to the internet, right? Where we have all this hatred, this angst against Zack Snyder's vision. But here's the thing. It could have been a minor, it could have been like one or two channels that didn't just like Zack Snyder, that has a following. And because these channels didn't like it, that grew quite quickly, right? Because it didn't make as much money, probably because, I don't know, either comic fans or whatnot, or people just were stuck in the past with Christopher Reeve, or had their own ideas, they didn't get this, or because they were thrown into this whole Marvel universe, and that's the way movies are meant to be made, light, funny and cheerful, and and everything else. But that was a small voice, so of course everybody got in the bandwagon and said, no, down with the Zack Snyder cut, it doesn't exist. But then fans who were really, I would say, it wasn't just about the film, it was about what was done to Zack. It was what was done behind the scenes. And people came forward, people that probably didn't even like Batman vs Superman, came forward in support. People that hadn't even seen it or whatnot, they came in support because they believed in directors' integrity for the movie. They believed in director's vision. They don't believe in studio interference, or they came on board because they can see the passion of their fans. They could see fans wanting it, and some DC fans came forward and said, I didn't really like that version of it, but listen, if it means we get more DC, let's support it. Let's support this. Let's give Ben Affleck another role at Batman. Let's give Henry Cavill one more chance. Because let's face it, Justice League was bad. It was bad. It was ripped to shreds. So people around the world were all sort of coming together, banding as one. Even the haters and whatnot came together and band. But here it is. There were also those rooms, like the rooms that Dave Filoni was talking about with all the women in the room. There were also these groups, these bloggers that were talking about that already said there was no Snyder cut. Right? They were already saying it will never happen. Down with this. John Campea was saying Zack Snyder should stop this. Zack Snyder should stop this because it will never happen. There's too much money involved. But they couldn't see these bloggers, these haters, right, that thought they were taking the higher ground by telling their viewers that, please do not waste your time and effort and money. We're telling you the facts. They don't believe in this the passion or love that fans have for something. Why couldn't they not just say, oh, there's a tweet, I might not believe in you in the cause, but I do believe in supporting the fans. They couldn't do that. Now the fans have won, and now they're coming out with all this rubbish. And these same people that I mean, for me, Zack Snyder's Justice League is already a hit. Why? Because even the haters will subscribe to HBO Max, will get the film, watch it, and before they watch it, they will concentrate in making sure that their mind tells them that they're watching something rubbish, because they don't want to lose face. I have seen so many YouTubers, thanks to Film Gub, who take videos of people that have said it doesn't exist, that you're shooting unicorns out your butt, right? And then the next thing, tongue in cheek and pretending that they've said it all along. So sometimes, You don't need to go with the popular opinion. Right now the world is in chaos. It's in chaos right now because people are too scared to speak in case they offend somebody, right? Because their opinion isn't amongst the masses. Well, we're living in a society where the power of YouTube and the power of a tweet has become so much more than what it's first set out to be, and so at least for me, this is the one and only decent thing that's came out of the internet and the world coming together. As it has got nothing to do with race, colour, sex, or anything. This is to do with passion. This is to do with the people just tweeting, and it's changed. And I'm so glad with it. And yeah, let's get prepared for all the hates out the world. Let's get ready, but let's not buckle under the pressure of staying with the most popular opinion. Stick to your own merits, stick to your own thoughts and ideas, because they're just important. Even when it comes up to people that don't agree with you, stick to your guns. Okay, this is my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you.